Before we start today's show, we want to invite you to stick around at the end of the episode to enjoy a preview of a new podcast that premieres on July 14th. As the industry's exclusive cannabis podcast network, MJBulls is proud to present Women Leading in Cannabis. Join host Kira Reed each week for inspirational discussions with women who are leading the cannabis industry. For too many years, families of children with devastating illnesses have felt helpless as they watch their child suffer. Today, they're taking matters into their own hands and finally finding relief, treating their child with cannabis. These are their stories.
Welcome to another episode of Love and Cannabis. I am Nina Simmons.
And I am Osiris.
And we are the proud parents of Aiden Steffen.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh man, we're looking forward to this interview. I have to be honest, we originally had him before and, through technical difficulties, I forgot to press the record button. But that's behind us now, and we're ready to do this again. I'm here to interview with Chris Harris of King Buddha CBD. Chris is now in Florida, coming to us live here, and we're looking forward to hearing what he's been up to and how this whole journey into the CBD world started for him.
How's everything?
Chris?
How's everything? Thank you for having me on.
Hi, Chris. Thank you.
No, everything's great, brother. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate your time. How's the weather out there?
Hot. And hot is an understatement. It is next level. But that's Florida summer, right?
Yeah, definitely. And happy belated Father's Day to you as well.
Thank you. You too. Thank you.
So, Chris, with so many brands out there, what did you guys, or you and your team or yourself, what went into the idea of starting your own CBD company? Can you give us the process or start for you?
Well, I was introduced to it by co-founder, my business partner, Adam. I've known him since junior high school, actually, I think. And just throughout my life, I've been a part of some things, played sports, really banged up my body. And I was to the point where I was taking about 2,200 milligrams of Advil a day just to kind of survive and make it through the aches and pains. And that's pretty much destroying yourself. So he was introduced to CBD by somebody, and a good friend of ours has multiple sclerosis. And he grabbed some, gave it to his friend, and saw how much it helped him. So he introduced it to me, said, "Hey, Chris, try it." And I just kind of let it sit there, went about my daily routine, didn't really think about it until one day I tried it. And I can't say that, hey, it worked, but I realized, wait a minute, I don't really feel as much pain as I did before. So I thought maybe it could just be the placebo effect, hey, all right, whatever. So I tried it again, and I really started to realize the difference. So I told him, hey, this is amazing stuff. And we discussed it and decided to get into business together to help people because, if this did, I understand how much pain I was in. If this can help me, can't imagine how many other people out there it could help. So, King Buddha was born.
Nice. Can you explain what was your injuries that you sustained?
I played football, so the doctors say I have a body of an 80-year-old man. So I have arthritis in my hands, my knees, my spine. I have no cartilage in one of my knees. I have a shattered elbow. I'm just a hot mess. And, just sometimes for no reason, just because it's Wednesday, you have aches and pains. And it really worked wonders for me.
How'd you come up with the name King Buddha? Whose idea was it? Did you guys flip a quarter for it?
I hated the name, and Adam came up with the name, and I honestly, which is kind of weird, I really don't know the complete story behind, why King Buddha. I think he just said, I liked it. I just thought of it, and I liked it, and I was just I hate this name. I just felt like it was such a narcissistic, and then Buddha the king, and then, who calls himself king, right? And then the Buddha, I was everybody's going to think we're big drug dealers or something like that. I just didn't want any parts of the name, but other people started coming up to us and saying, I really like the name, and I was just like, well, they're just saying that because they just want to flatter us or whatever the case is, or do they really like it? But when you start to hear it enough times, you realize, you know what? If they like it, I guess I gotta love it, and it grew on me. But at first, I wanted no parts of it. I was trying to, source people to give me ideas and better names and companies, branding companies, to see what's a better name. And I was gonna, Adam, let's try this name, but I just gave up on it. I was like, King Buddha.
So it's like, so you decided that, okay, let's come up with this business, and it's a huge undertaking. What was the first step? Was it research? Was it making connections? So tell us a little bit about that process on basically starting this huge undertaking.
Well, being an athlete, you win, lose, or draw, you're very conscious of what you put in your body. So as I realized that CBD worked, we did more research on kind of understanding exactly what CBD is, because unfortunately, even to this day, there's a lot of misinformation out there on the internet. And if you don't have the patience or understand good spaces to get the good information, it could be really confusing. So we educated ourselves on the difference between broad spectrum, full spectrum, isolate, the different ways of extraction of the CBD oil, just understanding the farming and just the legality of it, because at the time, the farm bill wasn't passed yet. So there was still a lot of legal issues regarding what you could and couldn't do with CBD. And so we educated ourselves, and then we decided to look at what the various products were on the market and how it was being incorporated into, our everyday lives and different products. And then we just decided that, okay, this is something that we feel we could get in business. Then we started sourcing, all right, if we're going to get in business, we want to make sure that we can control as much of this process from seed to table or seed to product that we could, because that will eliminate a lot of the gray area for us and our products. And so, just dealing with the struggles of starting a CBD company, there's a lot of ups and downs and growing pains that you have to go through. But we felt we took all the necessary steps to ensure that the quality of our product is top notch. We're involved all the way through, and we understand what we're putting on the market.
Oh, good. Now, you mentioned your partner, Adam. I didn't get his full name.
Adam Schemata.
Adam Schemata. Now, you guys were junior high school friends, high school, I assume. And at what point did you guys meet back up together? So, I mean, I'm assuming did he play football with you? Did you guys continue forward, or you guys met up later on to come and form this company?
No, so I was gone from my hometown for a while. I didn't move back. I would say I was gone almost 12 years. If not, maybe 12 years. No, hold on, that's a complete lie. I was gone maybe 8 years. And I only moved back because my wife didn't want to live in the city. I was living in Harlem at the time. So when we got married, I moved back to Rockland County, which, where I grew up in the latter part of my life. And we were in Costco, and, somebody was saying, Chris, and I was completely oblivious to him. And my wife was like, hey, Chris, somebody's calling your name. And I was like, okay. And I looked, and I was like, oh, snap, Adam. So it was kind of like we reconnected from there, and we became close, kind of like picked up where we left off years ago, because I haven't seen him since almost high school at this point. So, and then we always stayed close. We reconnected. We were like brothers again. And then, the CBD conversation didn't happen until almost maybe another 8 years later.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you knew this was going to be your partner in business. You guys stayed in touch that long and just, kept building the relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's a godfather of my children, so it's somewhere where he's really close, and we converse all the time, and even before business, we hung out again, kind of reconnected. So, I had no apprehension about getting in business together with him.
Oh, awesome. So now when it comes to brainstorming your brand and how to get it out there in front of people, how does that come out about? Like, do you guys have a boardroom? Do you guys make all these decisions? Or like, what is it that you guys look for when you want to market your brand?
We really want to get our product in front of the people who we feel want to use the product. So more so than really trying to brand ourselves, it's almost with the philosophy of if we build it, they will come. I mean, Adam he's been in marketing for most of his life in sales and works for Google and, Fortune 500 or 100 companies, whatever the number is. And so a lot of his marketing skills and understanding the SEO and SEM and things of that nature helps us with the website and social media and things of that nature. But the actual product, we felt that we wanted to create a brand that provided the highest milligram, the highest possible CBD for the lowest price point, and then get it to those people. So what we did was, instead of being like a lot of other brands that look for big time name endorsements or things of that nature, we said, hey, we want the everyday person, the weekend warrior, the person who's a teacher, the police officer, or the garbage man, or whoever it is, and then they like to jog after work, or they like to just be active. And then we created another brand called the Run Series, which was geared towards the more serious weekend warrior, the type of person that likes to attend the Spartan races and the mud runs and running marathons and things of that nature. So we introduced these guys. We actually set up, we teamed with the North Face, we teamed with Spartan Race, we teamed with Lululemon, so we can get in front of these active athletes. And they had questions, and we just decided we're not going to sit here and try and sell. We're going to educate, because so many people don't know what CBD is. So we would just have conversations and not push any product on anybody and just have samples there. And a lot of racers say, hey, now I'm interested, but I want to wait till after the race. Hey, come back after the race. We give them samples before they leave home. They're over here purchasing because they see how much it helped them, whether it was a cream, whether the gummies, or whatever the case is. So that was our goal, just to get in front of the people, the everyday people who need this the most, not the person who makes $1 billion and can afford anything. We want the person who is the most cost-effective, high-quality product out there. And right now, we look and study this all the time, and we have the highest milligram of CBD per dollar on the market, and we challenge anybody to find anybody who's selling it for less. I mean, we have our competitors who are, they'll do capsules, they'll do 10 less capsules, and their prices are $10 more.
And price is huge. Price is huge because it can be unaffordable for a lot of people.
Absolutely. But the education part now also brings it into where they understand why it's not, and no disrespect to any other business, but why it's not the gas station CBD, why it's not this for, $10.99 or whatever the case is, and letting them know the difference between our product and some of the others on the market.
Yeah, education is definitely key. So I'm really interested in learning more about the products in your running series. Being a runner myself, I did a couple of half marathons, and I ran a lot in college and high school. So can you just elaborate more on the products in that running series?
Absolutely. So, back to how it got developed. We were going to, I want to say, the North Face events. And we were there, and, we had various people come up and try the product. And then one day a gentleman came up, he sampled, and came back to us the next day and said, guys, I want to work with you. This is the most impressive product that I've ever had, and I haven't gotten a good night's sleep like this in probably like 5-6 years.
Yeah, boy.
We were like, okay, cool. What's your name? And he's like, Dean Karnassus. And we had no idea who Dean Karnassus was until we Googled him. And he is considered, he just won an award maybe 2 months ago for Men's Health, calling him one of the top 63 most fit human beings in world history.
Wow.
He has been a torchbearer for the Olympics in 2 different Olympics. He has ran nonstop from New York City to Los Angeles. He's run in Death Valley. He's run at the North Pole. He is considered the Michael Jordan of marathon running. He did 50 marathons in 50 days and finished with the New York City Marathon. Yes. Insane. So, yeah, he was like, hey, we want to work with you guys. I want to work with you guys. And it just so happened at the time, because we were going to so many of these running events, me and Adam were already developing this run series. So what Dean did, and some of our other athletes that we have under the King Buddha line, they did the real world testing of our products, said, hey, we really like this. We really don't like this. Or can we change this? This is some of the issues that I deal with when it comes to running. Can we add something in there to help that? So we developed our line, and we started it with a beginning, during, and post focus for athletes. We created an energy drink. CBD, BCAAs, small amount of caffeine, glutamine, everything your body would need to fortify itself to give you that boost of energy to help you focus for before your run or your workout. Then during this run, especially for people who run, 50-mile runs, 25-mile runs, you start to develop shin splints and just various elements of swelling with your feet, whatever the case is. So we created our soft gels, and the soft gels have Curum in it. And Curum is the active ingredient in turmeric, which everybody knows is known to help with inflammation. So we created the soft gels because it's something that the runners could take on the trail with them, just pop it when they need it. So now once it starts to help with the inflammation, the CBD, the Curum, you can focus back on running. And then for after the race, we have a pain cream in our regular King Buddha line, but we decided, right after this race, these guys are going to want something that's going to work even faster. So we created a roll-on, which is hands-free, because typically you might have grimy hands after a run. You put this roll-on on and it has DSMO in it, which aids in faster absorption of the arnica of the CBD to get into your system. So that's our run line.
Wow, that's a lot of.
It feels like you guys were runners because you thought of everything.
Yeah.
Runners? Me? No, absolutely not. Like,
I'm with you on that one.
No way, shape, or form. And it's funny when we got,
run to the fridge and back.
That's about it. That's where it stops for me. It's funny because when we got into this with Dean was like, "Hey guys, he's high energy. Let's run." And I'm like, "Yeah, Dean." And through him, we could get sponsored for the New York City Marathon. And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it." Then I really started thinking about this. I was like, that is the worst idea I probably could have ever came up with. So that was completely off the table. But unfortunately, but good for me, I think the New York City Marathon just got canceled because of COVID. So I got an excuse, win, lose, or draw. I got an excuse why I can't run.
The gods have spoken. It's like, we're going to bail him out.
He knew it was over for me.
So now, having built this partnership, now Lululemons, now I call them mama yoga pants because I see a lot of moms wearing these pants and I don't mind. I love this. But how did that come about? What? I mean, you wear them. I like you wearing them. Even if it's just to go shopping.
They are very nice. Nice company.
So, we've been lucky that lightning has struck for us in the right place at the right time with a number of things. So one of our retailers tried our product. Somebody went to one of the retailers where we sell our product and they tried it and they loved it. And they reached out to us, said, "Hey, Lululemon, we would be interested in working with you guys." So we were implanted in all of their New York City stores. And we would essentially just set up on-site activations and just educate their customers on what CBD is, the products that we offer, and just have real-world conversations with them. And one thing that we noticed that helped us develop our King Buddha line, especially Lululemon, it's women-driven, right? So you have women that are very active too. So not only do we have our tinctures, we have our pain creams, but we said, hey, we need to create more products that allow people to get CBD into their system more with their daily routine. Because a lot of people take CBD almost to be reactive, but CBD is really its best when you're taking it every day and it kind of fortifies in your system. So we said, okay, let's create a moisturizing face pearl for women. They take their shower, they do whatever to their daily routine, and then they have a face moisturizer. And we said, hey, people like to run with their pets, so why don't we offer pet treats?
Yes.
So we offer pet treats. So we just try to, hey, what are things that we do every day, what our market does every day, and how can we incorporate CBD into it so it helps them get it without even thinking about it? Because some people aren't good with routines, right? But there's certain things that we routinely do. Like, tell me to take my vitamins every day, it's probably not going to happen. But every day I'm going to wake up and brush my teeth, right?
And wash your face,
so
yeah.
it's kind of one of those things. Well, we hope I am, right?
And shower. So I'm assuming you're coming up with a soap
this
bar.
This is kind of like our approach. This is kind of our approach to it, and that's how it worked out with Lululemon. So we really got some good insight on the people that we spoke to there and how we can help them get CBD into their daily lives.
Wow, congrats. That's huge. I mean, that's a major brand.
Yeah.
Major brand.
Grassroots marketing will never end. I think that's when you're, at the people, when you're talking to the people, and that's who you're trying to sell to. So being able to converse with them and really listen to what they want. Sometimes I think with brands, they want to tell the world or the market what they want versus listening to what the market wants. And that's really helped us, being good listeners, develop some really awesome products.
Nice. Just going back to what you said about broad spectrum, isolate, full spectrum. And I noticed that your products are broad spectrum. Can you explain to listeners what that means?
Well, essentially there's a number of ways or different types of cannabinoids in hemp, right? So the one that everybody, there's really two people focus on. They focus on THC and they focus on CBD. But there's also CBG, CBN, and thousands of others. So they all work in harmony together to help your body feel the relief and some of these elements. That's why we take the CBD. So full spectrum is an extraction method where it just pretty much takes everything out of the hemp stalk, and we only use hemp-derived CBD. We don't use it for marijuana. So it takes everything out of the hemp, including the THC. Now, with hemp, as we all know, there's only less than 0.3% of THC in it, which is the legal limit. But for certain individuals that are in law enforcement, that are in military, or are professionals that can't afford to have a positive test with THC, you don't know how sensitive the drug test might be, they prefer not to have any THC whatsoever in the product. So that's what broad spectrum is. You still get all the goodness of all the other cannabinoids that's in full spectrum minus the THC. So they kind of call that the entourage effect. When you get all those little cannabinoids working together, it enhances the effect of the CBD. And then isolate is just what it says. You isolate the CBD and you leave everything else out, and it's just pure CBD. For effect, a lot of people say it's not as good as an effect because it doesn't give you the entourage effect of all the other cannabinoids. So that's why kind of broad spectrum is the middle ground, and typically the one everybody likes the most because it's the most effective without the THC.
Oh, wow.
Nice. And that's why you guys decided to go for that.
Yeah, that's why we wanted it. My background, there's a number of reasons why I couldn't have THC in my system. So I kind of wanted to market to individuals that can't have it. And, military, even though the military says, hey, you can't have, we don't understand, hemp, we don't understand CBD, so you can't have it. But there's no CBD test, right? You can't take a drug test for the CBD.
Right.
So as long as there's no THC in the product, and we have a bunch of active military, retired military, law enforcement that's active that use our product, and I tell them, I was like, listen, all you can do is just trust me and just understand that there's no CBD test. How are they going to know? There's no THC in this product. Our COAs show that there's absolutely no THC in the product. So you are safe to take our product. And they give it a shot and it's worked. And that's very important with people understanding the brands that they're using. Make sure they have that certificate with that third-party lab test to show or to back their claims. Because there's companies, I see their products, they say full spectrum product, and then they'll say no THC. It's like, how? That doesn't even make any sense.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And this is what they're selling. And it's people who
more.
are selling product and they don't even understand what they have. And it's scary.
No, it is really scary. Especially if you're taking it for, my son's taking it for seizures. If you're taking it for MS, you really want to know what's in the product. It's very important.
Absolutely. I mean, think about it. That could be your livelihood. That can be anything. And just for them not doing their due diligence of understanding their product, they can ruin your life. And to them, it's just like, oh well.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Who are your biggest clients? Are they athletes or are they the elderly? Like, who do you see are buying your products the most?
It's kind of a mix. It's the everyday. We're starting to get a lot of women that are using our product more and more. And I wouldn't necessarily say, even though we market to athletes, I wouldn't necessarily say, actually, no, we don't market to athletes. But I would say active individuals are who we see take our products more. The elderly are definitely there that are using their products for ailments and things of that nature. But we're getting a lot of active people who are purchasing our product. The Run series is very attractive to them. And just our product working, a lot of it's been word of mouth. We've been lucky that people have told friends and some of the retailers that we're in, one of the biggest pharmacies in New York City reached out to us and she was like, what are you guys doing? And the owner told the general manager to contact us. And we thought it was a trick question. Well, I'm not sure what you mean by what do you mean, what are we doing? She said, we're outselling some of the major brands that are in there 3-1.
Wow.
And these are big names in the industry. And we're like, hey, the products work. They speak for themselves. And it's sometimes as much as we try to market and acquire new customers, if your product isn't good, you're just going to get them from the one shot and that's it. I mean, even yesterday, 2 days ago, somebody posted on their social media, and we shared it on ours, but it's the Ignite brand. They had the Ignite CBD, and they put ours side by side, and they said ours by far trumps this product. They were like, the other one was a complete waste of time. And I don't want to call them out, but this is a testimony for somebody, a customer. I don't even know who they are personally. So we, as much as a branding machine Ignite is and the big budget that they are, they couldn't stand up to the quality of our product.
Ooh, congrats. That's huge, especially in the in the cannabis and CBD world. It's a small one, so that is going to be amplified. That's going to be marketing for you. So, and when you mentioned about the grassroots, which is important, especially with education and meeting your potential clients or customers out there, with the COVID-19 and the lockdowns here and there, have you been facing a challenge in meeting your potential clients or, people who want to use your product?
Absolutely. I mean, a big part of what we did was getting in front of these customers. One, businesses are closed, right? So, them not even getting in to interact with the product directly or see it and feel it, something tangible, is definitely a challenge. And then us being at various events and things of that nature, being able to educate and them getting trusted with our brand, because we might not get the conversion right then and there, but they'll go online, they'll research us, they'll look, and then they'll purchase. So that aspect of it is definitely different. We've been lucky that we've been able to market during this time some new products. Like we just came out with a month ago a product called an Immune Boost plus CBD. So essentially, dry yeast fermentate is something that has been used for years, and it's been clinically proven to help fortify your respiratory system, by having bad cell killers, NK cell killers, and things of that nature to really fortify your respiratory system, your mucous membranes in your eyes, your nose, your mouth, even your ears. And we've combined that with the power of CBD. So if you think about COVID-19 and how that's an attack on your immune system, we said, hey, this product is clinically proven to help defend against something like this. So we'll combine it with CBD and see what happens. And it's a product that so far we've been getting really good reviews on, feedback with, and we saw the opportunity, hey, let's try and develop something new and bring it to the market. And so that's kind of helped us stay afloat and stay relevant, have people pay attention to us. And once the restrictions are lifted with COVID, we're excited to get back to, events like the CBD World Expo. We're really excited to get to that at the Javits Center in New York and just kind of get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Can you repeat exactly what you said that you were combined? What was it called for the listeners again? It was CBD and a yeast, you said?
Yes, so the actual product is called Immune Boost plus CBD, but inside of it is they're soft gels, and they're mixed with obviously CBD, broad spectrum CBD, and dry yeast fermentate.
Fermentate, okay.
So if you guys Google, you're listening, you Google dry yeast fermentate, and you'll see like hundreds of clinical studies about dry yeast fermentate and what it does for your body, your respiratory system, and how it's used in medicine and different things. And we've just used that technology and combined it with CBD. And that goes back to, what products can we create to help people adapt to their everyday life and incorporate CBD into them.
What I like about your products is that you realize that like CBD is not the end all be all. Like you incorporate other things with CBD as well. So it's pretty innovative in that way.
Yeah, it's not a miracle product, right? CBD is amazing, but there's no one thing in this world that's like the ultimate abracadabra.
Exactly.
So you have to figure out how to enhance it with other things that we do. And every day, like my wife uses the face cream. She loves the gummies.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm a big user of, the drink mix and the tinctures and the pain cream. And there's just various things. I don't have any pets, but the dog's treats are awesome for people who have pets. We also have melatonin soft gels for people having trouble sleeping. We have the Curum for inflammation. We just said, hey, there's a problem. How can we fix it with CBD and incorporating other things into it?
That's awesome.
It's really exciting. I'm interested in the drink.
Now with the now with the formulations, do you do the formulations yourselves, or you guys pretty much outsource it to a lab based on your specifications? Like, hey, I want you to include this, try it out, and give me, how do you get it to where you want and say, okay, we're ready to go to market with this?
We're lucky enough to be able to handle the formulations in-house. We have labs on the West Coast and on the East Coast that we're able to pretty much trial and error everything that we need to do.
Wow.
So we're lucky in that sense that we can just say, hey, mix up something and let's see how we can get this to work.
Wow. Now, with your lab testing, how often are you sending those out to be tested, your lab work?
Every batch that comes out, it goes out to the third-party lab, and we'll go through the full gambit. Each test is probably around like close to $1,000, and we want every rooted to the tutor thing that you can test, and we do it with every single batch. And then we'll make sure that we put the batch number on the date, the batch number on the COA, so you're not looking at a lab test from a product that was 3 years ago. Like everything is accurate.
And we found that.
We see that a lot.
You put the batch number on every product label? Is that what you're saying?
Yep, every product label. And that's,
perfect.
The industry regulations now, right? You have to have, the batch label on there. And how we do it is we actually use the QR code scanner.
Yes, that's
so
awesome.
When you scan the QR code, all the information will come up, and then it would actually also lead you to the online site where it'll take you right to the COA. And we also include all that information on the box as well as the bottle.
Perfect, Chris, because a lot of times we'll see a CBD and I'm like, what's in it? What's in it? There's sometimes they don't have the batch number anywhere.
Yeah.
You have to call the company, and then they're fishing for it.
Or you got to dig through their website to find it.
You know, what you're doing is huge. It's very professional. Someone can go.
It's very transparent. That's the word, really.
Exactly. It's very transparent. And not all companies are like that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And that's what we would want when you're buying something that you're going to put in your body, right? You want to be able to get the information as soon as possible. Not only do we have the COAs underneath every single product, but we also have a COA tab where you can just click on it and everything just shows up right there. So you have two spots conspicuously displayed where you can get the information on each and every product. And we take pride in that. We want people to feel safe with what we have and what we're showing and as we grow.
It's huge.
That's awesome. Now, what retail stores have you guys gotten your products on? Like what shelves? Like which ones? If I wanted to go out right now to buy it, where would I find your products? Whichever stores that are open.
Like we're in various sporting goods stores. If you go in New York, we're like in, Zittamore Pharmacy is one of the biggest pharmacies in the country. We're in like Juice Journeys. We're in some sporting goods stores. We're in health food stores like oh man, my brain is hurting me right now. Like a Zambetti's, like this various places we can go out and get our product. And once we're back to being fully open, you'll be able to, get our products at North Faces and Lululemons and things of that nature.
Now, getting in front of the retailers, how hard or how easy is it for them to say, you know what, I like your product, we'll get you on the shelf, and do they negotiate prices with you? Like, okay, well, you got to bring your price down to this, even though you've already done that in advance. Do you find that in trying to get your product on their shelves, especially trying to find space?
Man, you remember Indiana Jones was trying to find like that treasure? It's kind of about how hard it is to try and get yourself, at least for us it is, on how hard it is trying to get on shelves. CBD world is such a clouded market and a cloudy market. And I'm sure some of these companies are being pitched to by hundreds of CBD companies a day. So being able to separate ourselves from the pack is something that, we really try to do. But like I said, the most part of us getting into some of these retail locations has been word of mouth. We'd have somebody who's taken our product and we've made introductions, or we've spoke to somebody, said, hey, here, try the product, let us know what you think. And it's like, hey, I got to get these in the stores. Hey, I got to introduce you to somebody so we could do this, down, and the third. And then a lot of foot patrol, right? Just getting out there, boots to the ground, and just, hey, are you interested in expanding your offering of CBD?
Now, how many people you have under you? How many people on your team?
So me and my business partner, at the top of the company, and it's probably like a staff of, altogether from from product to seed, probably like 50-ish. Everybody, whether it's the farm, the cultivating, the labs on both sides. So it's a decent sized staff.
No, yeah, that's good. It's manageable too, because right now I was just watching the news. Some big teams out there are taking the L, especially in Canada. Yeah. I read about that. I don't know, a couple of companies out there who I guess grew too big too fast and are now cutting down to God. It's like it's bloodshed out there. But I'm glad you guys are still up and running, doing what you're doing.
Yeah, we decided. With developing this, we've been through every single hurdle you could possibly do as a company or be involved in as a company. And one thing that we are excited about is that we bootstrap this. We don't have any investors into the company. This is 100% funded by, me and Adam. And we've been able to slowly grow and go through the growing pains and say, hey, let's start small. If we needed to, we had an emergency nest that we can jump into, and we would be good regardless with that. But we said, hey, let's do this the right way. Let's not owe anybody. Let's take baby steps. We don't need to have 5 million products out there right away. Let's just slowly grow. And we went small, and we've dealt with the regulations of of the, the issues with social media, the issues with the merchant accounts shutting everybody down. I mean, we've been through every single point of it, and we just adjusted and decided, hey, let's get every certification you could possibly have. So when these regulations come down, we already have it and don't have to adjust. We decided early on we were going to get into the vape game and decided, you know what, let's completely not even waste our time with that because it's so cloudy. So there's just certain moves we decided to stay away from, just let everybody else have that battle.
True.
And then the smoke clears. If it clears, we could jump in, Yep. And then we looked at other people's mistakes. We said, hey, look what this company did, reading publications, just keeping your ears to the streets of what's going on, and said, okay, we're not going to make that mistake.
Wow, that's really smart. What's interesting because I just saw something today that there was a report that they're blaming, I think the FDA or the CDC is blaming lung issues on vaping.
That was a clueless. Maybe I shouldn't say that too loud, but it's
no, I know. But again,
it's true.
The publicity itself, so they put it out there. I was like, wow, okay, it's on the news. Okay.
But they don't even know.
They don't know.
I mean, the FDA, right? I had an event one time and this guy shows up with his friends, and his friends are interested in the product, and this dude just starts reading me the Riot Act. Like, he's giving me the 10th degree and I work for the FDA, and he's trying to fire off questions and comments and statements, and I'm just firing him back the facts of what it is. And then it got to the point, and I was like, hey, if you really cared so much, the FDA approves products that kills people every day.
Exactly.
So
Message.
what are you sitting here worried about me when I'm telling you this is all natural? And his friend still brought the product anyway. So I don't know why he was trying to grandstand, but it didn't work. And, it's and that's the problem. There's so many people who don't. It's a business, and unfortunately, dying is a business too.
Unfortunately,
so,
yes.
However, the government can keep this cash flow going, they're going to do it. It's a funny story. I was watching this documentary, right? And these are this is kind of for the individuals that swear by whatever the FDA says. So the process to, let's say, a prosthetic, right? Let's say you need a new hip, okay? So there's a process to getting this new hip that you just created approved. So to go through this process early on, there was only, let's say, 5 people trying to get hips approved. So they would study the hip, they would approve, deny, to keep it pushing. But what happened was, as more and more people tried to create these products, now you have 10,000 people a day trying to submit patents and products to get approved by the FDA. So they go, okay, this is what we're going to do to speed up this process. If a product that was previously approved, if your design is within 90% of what that design was, you're going to automatically get approved. But what happens is some of those designs that got approved, you put the hip in somebody, and all of a sudden it gets recalled because the metal starts rusting and it's killing somebody, or it's doing something that causes them cancer. They're not removing those from that 90%. So if Kyle creates a hip, it gets approved, and a year later they have to recall it because it's killing people, it's rusting in their body, and I come with a hip design that's 90% close to what Kyle's design was, I get approved. So I just got approved from a failed product.
Wow.
And then somebody a year later goes off of my design, and then a year later off of his design. So you can go 10 years later that this design has failed, this failed design has approved 10 designs after. And that's the FDA's process. So how close of an eye are they really watching on these products? So when it comes to CBD, they don't care about it. They're just trying to figure out how to capitalize on it. They're just trying to figure out, hey, this is alternative medicine. This is going to take away revenue from that. We can't approve this. We can't have that done.
Agreed. I said that a lot.
It's alternative medicine.
Exactly.
You know, and so when a lot of people harp on what the FDA says, and the FDA didn't approve, I really challenge them to kind of sit back and do their research and really think about the things the FDA does approve. I mean, me being an athlete, I took VYAS one time in college.
I did too.
It was a new thing for inflammation, and guess what? Got recalled for what? Causing cancer.
Oh my God.
And I was popping VYAS like it was Skittles. And I was taking it as prescribed. I wasn't overusing it or abusing it. I was literally taking it as prescribed. 3 years later, VYAS causes cancer. But it was FDA approved, right?
Yes, I took VYAS as well. Yes.
But that's interesting, though. It's like, how long has VYAS been on the market?
Prior to me taking it, I have no...
The recall?
Yeah, I mean, prior to the recall.
I was taking it in 2004, 3, somewhere between 2003 and 2005. I was taking it. And nope, I was taking it in 2002. That's when I was taking it. And it probably got recalled maybe, I want to say 2010.
Wow.
So 5 years later. So it had to be on the market for at least 10 years, maybe 10, 15 years before
Absolutely.
that. So they had to be, because I know before anything gets into the market, I don't know that with vaccines, it takes about 10 years before it gets approved. So are they speeding up the processes for certain drugs?
I mean, think about this. It's a business,
Like
right?
these-
Lobbyists, everybody, puts their money in the pot to try and get their products approved and things of that nature. And
Yes.
A little bit of red tape for some, and then others go right under the red tape. So I'm not completely sure that was VYAS's way, but, it happens a lot. And what happens is for them to recall, it's a problem, right? So there has to be a pattern of a problem for them to be like, okay, something's wrong
It
with
has to be
this.
really bad.
Yeah.
It has to be really,
Yeah.
excuse my French,
It's like
effed up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So it's like one was a fluke. Okay, that's
Yep.
about 20. All right, I think we need to move on this.
Exactly.
Yeah, it has to be really horrendous. Wow.
So I challenge everybody who kind of goes against the CBD grain and saying, oh, this isn't FDA this isn't FDA that. Really dig and understand what the FDA does, and then really educate themselves on CBD. Find a company, look them up, just comb through it, a fine-tooth comb through their business. I mean, take us, King Buddha CBD, and do it, and just really educate yourself on the product, on CBD.
Well, I have my last question, but thanks for that input, too, because that's very helpful, too. I mean, with the FDA putting its foot into the CBD world and hemp as well, and so it hasn't been easy for a lot of companies and a lot of people who really are trying to just navigate it and just find themselves on the short end of the stick and losing almost everything that they put into it.
Yeah, because they came out with their derivative product.
Yeah.
That they were actually trying to push on our son as well.
Yeah, we're like, now we're
And
good.
there's a lot of sugar and additives inside.
It's not even a plant. It's a derivative of the plant. So it's not even a real plant. But where they make the money off, it's on the patent of the fact that they put their little chemical in there. But that's neither here nor there. So let me ask a question before I let you go. In reference to your product line, now, do you also private label or white label? Are you guys considering it? Are you doing affiliate marketing as well?
Yes, we do white label. We're white labeling now for some companies out there, and we also do affiliate marketing. We definitely try to, for the brand, for the King Buddha brand, really leverage, affiliate marketing because of, the biggest digital marketing tool right now, other than I still believe that email marketing is king, but the power of social media can't be denied. But unfortunately, they deny CBD. So you can't really use that to its full extent. So you have to leverage affiliate marketing and get these backlinks and things of that nature. Make sure your SEO for your website is on point to really kind of give you wings. And then, when it comes to white labeling, like I said, Adam comes from Google, and he comes from that, world of digital marketing. So we have the capability to completely set up the website, the e-commerce, build a website, handle the SEO, do everything from the product to the digital marketing. And it really is a la carte. How some companies have us fully involved. Some companies have us just creating the product for them and they're handling everything else. And,
wow,
we can pretty much tailor it to your needs if you're interested in white labeling.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's great to have those options.
Oh, wow. And you guys also do the wholesaling too?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's great. So basically, if someone's interested, you can consult them on what avenue is best for them, because people come in and say, I want to wholesale, but then they realize, oh, I need to have a business license, or I need to do this, or I didn't know, I thought I could just jump into this industry. And you can tell them, hey, maybe you want to do affiliate marketing.
Just to try it out.
Be an affiliate to start from there.
Yep. Yeah, you get a lot of that. People trying to get on the wave of CBD, and the first thing is that they're not even sure how they want to get started. And then sometimes there's a lot of do this, that, and the third, and they understand the cost that's really involved in trying to start your own company. And they're like, okay. So, there's a number of steps and number of ways that we just try to, like I said, education is the key to kind of how we operate, and just say, hey, you can do this, you can do that, but this is kind of the cost involved. You could start small like we did and work your way up bigger. Or if you want to just jump out the window, that's up to you too. We might not recommend that, but it's what you decide to do, with your business, you know. So we just try to, just be there. Customer service, being there for them, calls, emails, any time of day. I mean, we're dealing with people from North Carolina to California to Texas, different time zones, and Adam and I try to make sure we're available all the time. We'll never, usually 12 hours is the times it takes for us to get back to a client. If it's, a phone call, emails. I mean, if I'm up at 2 a.m, you send me an email at 2 a.m, I'm going to respond back to you at 2 a.m. So
yeah, sounds like me.
Yeah. Yep. So it's kind of like that's our approach with this. And we want to grow the industry, right? Because if we don't grow the industry as a whole, we don't educate the people, if we don't do our due diligence to make sure people want to take CBD and trust CBD as a product, we're going to be out of business. There's going to be a lot of people out of jobs when it doesn't need to be that way. Because there's some people that, we educate and they don't come with King Buddha. They don't use King Buddha products. Fine. That's great. But we wouldn't treat them any different. We're still here. This is the approach we want to take. And we just continue to roll in that way.
Wow. Congrats. You guys are really doing it.
You're really doing it.
I appreciate what you guys are doing. Your the integrity, and also the fact that you're very transparent about your products and what you're doing with it. I wish you all guys all the best and the success that's coming forward for you guys. How would our listeners get to you guys? How would they find you?
Well, they can follow us. First of all, they can go to our website. It's www.cbd-cbd.com. So that's kingbuddhacbd.com. You can find us at Instagram the same way, King Buddha CBD. We are on Twitter. We are on LinkedIn, Facebook, King Buddha CBD. It's pretty much anywhere you can find King Buddha CBD. We're on there. If you want to email us, you can email me directly. I'll give you my direct email. It is chris@kingbuddhacbd.com. You can reach out to me if you have any questions. If you're interested in product, wholesaling, retailing, whatever the case is, or you just want some information on CBD, don't hesitate to reach out to me. We're here 24/7.
Awesome, brother. I really appreciate you spending some time with us the second time around.
Yes, thank
But it's been enjoyable each time, though. Each time's been enjoyable. I really appreciate having you, man. Thank you again.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
No, thank you for having me on, and this platform to really, educate people on CBD and the businesses, highlighting them. So thank you.
Yes, definitely check him out. I'm about to go on his Instagram right now as well.
Yeah.
So thank you.
And Chris, we're gonna definitely check in with you, see how you guys are doing. And I guess once this thing breaks, this whole COVID era that we're in, definitely want to do a follow up with you and how you guys were able to get past this hump and really get back into the swing of things, because I know that's one of the things you're really looking forward to doing.
Can't wait.
All right, my friend. You have a good night, and thanks again for tuning in.
All right, thank you, guys.
All right.
Have a good night.
You too, buddy.
Thanks for tuning in another episode of
Love and Cannabis.
I'm Osiris Stephens.
And I'm Nina Simmons.
Be strong.
And stay empowered.
on here, boy?
Hi, my name is Kira Reed, and I'd like to invite you to be inspired by the women who are leading in the cannabis industry. Each week, we will discuss empowerment, leadership, and what it means to be a woman in charge in marijuana, hemp, and CBD. As the founder of the Women Empowered in Cannabis community, I have had the great pleasure to get to know many brilliant and talented women who are CEOs, executives, politicians, advocates, and community leaders that are focused on creating a cannabis economy that is just, fair, and equal. We'll learn how these women make decisions, how they navigate a predominantly male industry, and what they're doing to level the playing field for women. I hope you'll join us.